Hi, I'm back. They were getting a little wild. I just got home from work and they want to play. They've been sleeping all day. This is my Flosstube 33, and I'm back after a couple of months of no video. Um, so I want to welcome anyone new to my channel and welcome back to my old friends. Um, if any of you watched the last video I posted, if you watch it to the end, you saw that that same day my husband passed away unexpectedly of a heart attack. And so our family's just been, grieving. We're heartbroken, and it was devastating. It was devastating to us all. But I wanted to come back on here. Cross stitch and floss tube has always been a positive, happy experience for me. Everyone has been so kind to me, and we just have to try and get on with life. And so that's what I'm here trying to do. But before I get started, I just wanted to thank you all. I have, I received cards, comments, messages, text messages, through messages through Instagram and Facebook and emails, all kinds of things from you all, just with your condolences during this time, and you all were thinking of us and praying for our family, and we appreciate that so much. I've never lost anyone that's close to me, so it's something new, and you don't really quite know how to handle it, but I've been on your end, really, where I've said things to people and I always felt like, oh, that sounds stupid, or when there's something better I could say. And, I don't know if you felt that way at all, but please know that just knowing that you were thinking about us enough and cared enough to send a message or a card or whatever, it meant the world to us. It really did, to know that people were thinking of us during that terrible time. And I just want to thank you all for doing that. I don't want this to be a sad video. Like I said, this has always been a happy place for me, and I want to try and keep it happy. So that's enough about that for now. I have a lot to show you. I'm not completely organized with what I want to show you, but it was kind of a now or never thing. I kind of made this video a couple days ago, and I lost the light. The sun went down, and there's a window right behind my monitor here that really gives off a lot of light in the afternoon. And I lost my light. It just wasn't good quality. And there's things I forgot to say. And so anyway, I just decided to start from scratch. So I showed you our two kittens. And y'all may have, if on social media, may have seen I posted a little bit about them on, I think, Instagram and Facebook. But at any rate, a couple days after my husband passed, I think it was 2 days after, we heard a meowing. And my daughter came out of her room. She said, "Do you hear that?" I said, "No." And I said, "You sure it's not a bird? Because we used to have a bird that it would sound like a cat." I know you all probably, there was a mockingbird before that, a dog we used to have, when we let her out, when she wanted back in, she would whine. And I'm recording. Oh, hello. She got here fast, didn't she? That was my youngest daughter, Emily. Anyway, so she would go to the door and she would whine. And there was a bird, I guess it was a mockingbird, that would come in. She's distracting me. Sorry. There's a mockingbird that would come and sit on the porch and would whine and sound just like the dog. So when the dog was inside, I would think she was outside to give the door to let her in, and it was that dang mockingbird. So I thought maybe it was a mockingbird meowing, because we have a lot of cats around here. We had a stray that had kittens under our neighbor's house. Then they moved away. They couldn't trap them because they were feral. So another neighbor's been feeding them. They had another litter, and one of those cats then had a litter under our house. So it was one little kitten. Their eyes weren't open yet. They were tiny, tiny. And he was under the house and just whining and meowing. So my daughters got a shepherd's hook to get, they were too afraid to go under the house because of spiders. And we have plastic down on the ground as a barrier, moisture barrier, and also, like insulation and plastic covering that up under the house. It's a crawl space, but they didn't want to go under there. And so they got a shepherd's hook that like you hang a plant on our bird feeder, and they pulled the kitten to them. Well, when they did, they pulled back some of the plastic, and there were 4 other kittens. So they put them all in a doghouse, and we put it on our deck. And we have 2 decks. One we call the old deck, one the new. The new one's the bigger one, the old one's small, but the old one has a gate on it. So I don't know if people who lived here before installed that was to keep a pet on the deck or off the deck, or kids on the deck. I don't know. But we put them in there so the mama cat could get to them, but any other predator maybe, hopefully, couldn't. Well, I'll try to make this story shorter. It was 3 orange ones, a white one, and a gray tabby. The gray tabby was the runt, and that's the one that had been separated. And I think the mother separated it. So we watched him for a couple of days, and he was still always to himself. The others appeared fed. The mother tracked in some dirt into the doghouse. We knew she was coming and taking care of them, because she would run if she saw us or heard us coming. So anyway, we took in the gray tabby and started bottle feeding it, or actually syringe feeding it. I even had to take it to work one day to feed this cat. Then a couple of days later, one of the orange ones was dead. And I said, things just happen. You never know. Well, wait another day or 2, and another orange one was dead. So we took them, the 2 remaining ones, an orange one and white one, in, and started feeding them too with my syringe. And I'm not a huge cat person, but y'all, when you bottle feed a kitten like that, and they're, you just fall in love with them. And I did. And we all did, me and my 2 daughters. And it was probably a good distraction with everything we were going through to be able to take care of these kittens. The gray tabby one died. He was just dead one morning. But the other 2 you can see are doing great. And they're so much fun to watch. And I'll sit stitching. I stitch on my couch as a recliner. And one will sit here and one will sit here. I have a magnifier here, and I'm trying to move them so I can see through my magnifier to stitch. Y'all, it's a funny sight. I tried to take a picture of it the other day, a selfie, and I look so bad. I can't show that to you. But just imagine those kittens, because they think we all are mama, but really I'm the mama because I'm the one that fed them the most. So anyway, that's our kitten story, new addition to our family. But the best new addition to our family, September 7th, my granddaughter was born, Catherine Grace. And she's healthy and beautiful and doing great. It's our first granddaughter. We have 2 grandsons. They're all children of my son, but we're real excited to have a little girl and spoil her. So it's been kind of a roller coaster, ups and downs here in life around here. But anyway, that's enough about life update. I just wanted to tell you all because I know you knew about all the other things that had happened. So I'm sitting here looking at some whips and some haul and some finishes, and I want to share those with you. There were a couple of weeks right after my husband passed August 20th, and there were a few weeks where I couldn't stitch. I just had no desire. I picked it up a couple times and I just put it down. I was like, yeah, I just didn't want to do it. But I kept thinking about things that weren't done, and I wanted to finish them. So I picked up some old whips and tried to get them finished. And I want to share those with you today. This is one of them. Christmas is Coming by Shakespeare's Peddler. I got a cat hair in my mouth, imagine that. They really aren't shedding yet. I wish they wouldn't shed. They would stay just like this. They're fluffy and soft and no hair anywhere, but maybe they're starting. Anyway, so this is the chart. Well, I had gotten down to about here. I hadn't done that little red line there or these gray X's. I had not done those yet. This was the chart I started about this time last year, and it's on 36 count, something behind it, 36 count linen. I forget the name, but I will look it up and put it in the notes. And so I picked it up and finished it. But when I was stitching this is the first time I ever stitched on 36. I didn't like it. I was doing 2/2. This is 2/2 on 36. I like the coverage. I like the way it looks. But I did not enjoy the stitching, which is why it went in timeout for half a year or more. Also, I messed up. This fence here in this line of snow is lined up with this dirt line right here. This, I guess that's the, like this is the sky and this is the dirt. Anyway, this line right here, actually it was supposed to line up with this line up here, this branch. So all this was shifted down too far. Well, then I'm panicking thinking, do I have enough fabric? And I did, thank goodness. So these little X's here were only supposed to go up to this point. They were supposed to fit in right here. You see the chart. Let's see. I just decided to carry them all the way across, and this too. And then I put in the year. I put in a couple X's there because we have, I don't know if I have them anywhere else, but I just put in some white ones. And another little tulip. There are tulips in here. I added a tulip to fill in that space. So I'm stitching. I get all the way down to this line here, and I run out of the color of the words are in. It's Rum Raisin by Weeks. It's pretty color, and I was like, I can't believe I ran out. I didn't have to rip out anything, you know, didn't do any frogging on this. Wasn't sure why I ran out. Then I looked back at the chart, and if you'll see the words penny and what's the other word? You were supposed to be like in a copper color. This word here, penny, and you. I didn't pay attention to that. I don't know how I didn't pay attention to a different symbol on the chart, but I just went ahead, did all the words in that rum raisin color, but it turned out pretty good. It turned out pretty good. So it's a little bit longer than I had anticipated, but I think it's going to be okay. I'm going to mount this on a frame I saw in Hobby Lobby. It's in the unfinished wood section. It's a kind of a long, well, obviously it's an oblong frame to fit this rectangle, and it's got like, the frame itself is kind of has a, it looks like wood beads that are in there, like they're cut off, you know, half cylinder shape. I don't know, not a cylinder shape. It's like half a bead. Anyway, and I thought it would look real cute in that, and it fits. It's the right size for this. So when I was in there, their unfinished wood things were not on sale, but don't they go on sale like every other week or something? It used to you could count on Hobby Lobby. If it's not on sale this week, it'd be on sale next week. And I think they spread that out a little bit, but anyway, it wasn't on sale, and I haven't gone back in. I want to catch it on sale. So I will put that up for Thanksgiving because it's about Christmas is coming. I don't decorate for Christmas until after Thanksgiving. I have family here. That's our big family holiday, extended family for all my siblings and their families come here. We'll have between 25 and 30 people, and we have a good time. And I just want it to be Thanksgiving, not Christmas, because that's what it is. So I don't put up any Christmas um, until the following weekend. The weekend right after Thanksgiving, some company from out of state's still here. So we don't do it then, we do it the following weekend. I had another finish, and it's, I'm going to have to insert a picture here. It's the Prairie Schooler Spring and Fall, I think it's still Spring and Fall, charts. This is a little chart that I do for my office. It's a monthly thing, and I did finished October. It was a start and a finish. And it's a black cat with a jack-o'-lantern. I'll insert it here. And I thought that was really cute. I've got a few compliments on it, and most of the time people really don't notice my stitching because it's on my door. My door's open, so they don't really see it. But I like looking at it. I get to see it all day long. So I have to start. I'm going to start working on November soon because it's going to be coming, and I've been like a week behind all year long. So then I have starts. Those are my only two finishes, and I have a start and a whip. That's a whip, obviously, and that's my only whip. I haven't worked on anything else except for things at a retreat, and I'm going to show you those in a little bit. But what I started, I think I showed you all this pattern before, and it's a Christmas stocking. And what's it called? The Best of Christmas. I bought this as a kit on eBay. It came with this like cream colored Aida. I went and bought, it's 14 count. I went and bought 14 count stark white Aida because except for almost all the stockings were stitched in the 90s. So they have a 90s look about them. So when I did my grandson's last year, and the year before, I made them kind of look in the same style. So I want to keep with that style because they're all hanging on my mantle together. The kids are not allowed to take those to their house. When I'm dead and gone, they can have the stockings, but until then, they're staying here with me. I will make them one for their house if they want. But two or three of my children live here, so it's not a big deal. But so this one is kind of 90s style, and it's going to be on bright white. I've got what I'm going to show you that I stitched. I haven't back stitched yet. I haven't done any back stitching. But if you look at this chart on the bottom, that railroad track, it's all back stitching. Most of the back stitch, I don't think will get messed up while I'm stitching the rest. I stitch in hand, so I kind of crumple it up. But those railroad tracks, I just didn't want them to kind of get off, kind of, didn't want them to move on me. But I've been doing a good bit of work on this one. So this is how far I've gotten. It's coming along. I am hoping to have this done. Well, I would love to have it done by the end of October, but I might not. That's okay. But I want to have it done weeks ahead of Christmas. I don't want to be Christmas Eve sewing this together. Last Christmas Eve, I was doing that. I was finishing a quilt for my husband and a cross stitch piece for my son. My daughters were completed, but I mean, it was a lot. So that has been where most of my stitching time has gone, into the stocking, and doing something for my granddaughter was a good, feel good kind of project to work on. I have gotten some haul, and I want to share that with you. Let me see what I want to show you first. Well, I have a friend who I've met her. Well, first time I met her, it was at a barn sale at her house. She is an antique dealer. She goes to auctions and estate sales, and then she resells in like an antique mall, and they're getting ready to open their own shop in the town next to ours, the next county over, and she'll sometimes post pictures of things in her booth. And on more than one occasion, I've messaged her and said, I want that. I can't get to your shop today, but will you hold it for me? And she knows me well enough that she holds things for me. So that's great. That's great. And I appreciate her for doing that. So she posted some pictures of things in her shop, and this was one of them. Well, I immediately messaged her and said, I'm interested in that sampler. How much is it? Is it sold yet? Can you hold it for me? And she replied almost immediately, and she said, yes. She said, it was $18. So it's $18, and I'll hold it for you. You can meet me at my house. You can come to the shop. And I said, I'll come to the shop. She said, well, I have 2 others. You want to see if you're interested in those? And I said, sure. So anyway, this is the first one. It's a sampler. It's got a good bit of age on it. I'm pretty sure it's stitched with wool. It's got the alphabet uppercase and then lowercase. No name or date on it. Thought the back was as interesting as the front, because look at how bright those colors were. Now, I'm sure this is from the 1800s, just in other samplers that I've seen. And I just love it. I'm not sure if I'm going to frame it or display it in some other way. I still have to think about that. I originally thought I was going to frame it because she showed me the other 2, and I got those as well. And I asked her where she got them, and she said from a lady in another county. And oops, oh, I just saw something I meant to show you as a finish. Anyway, she got them from a lady in another county, and she said she had these all put in a suitcase together. So these other 2 I may not have purchased had it not been for the first one, but I thought, I kind of feel like they're probably from the same family and maybe for multiple generations. So this is one of them. They were all the same price. Plus she made me a deal. I mean, she didn't have to, but she did. And I like that this is all in black. It's very neatly done. Warm friendship, like the setting sun, sheds kindly light on everyone. That was cute. So I think I probably want to frame all these and have them together and somehow mark them on the back. I think they're from the same family. The third one is really, I'm not crazy about this one. It's even newer than the other 2. That's why I think they may be from multiple generations. And this is not nearly as neat as the black one. And it is stamped cross stitch, which I'm sure the all black one is too. But you can still see the ink behind the letters. And I mean, you can see the X's are not, I feel like a child did this. Or somebody who didn't care. I don't know which. But anyway, so I got those, and sorry. I set this picture here, and I had another finish. It's not fully framed. It's just stuck in the frame, and you all have seen this before. The Butterfly Cloche by Hello from Liz Matthews. I wanted to put this is for my granddaughter's birth sampler. At first I wasn't put anything but her name on it. And then as I was thinking about it, I think I want to have all that on there. I think I do. So I kind of had a hard time finding letters that would work in that space. I should have measured out my letters so I could have changed the size of that tag in the chart, but I mean, it was all done, so I was going to make it work. So it's all backstitched. I did three strands of floss for the name that's in like the label on there, and then the writing below is just one strand. So I thought it turned out pretty cute. And I know it's not centered in the frame. I just stuck it in there to see if it would still fit after the words were added. So it's not anywhere close to being finished. I've got to work on. I got to work on getting that framed up just right. You know, they say your brain releases something that makes you happy when you buy something. I am a firm believer in retail therapy. And I think my brain releases something when I get a bargain versus just buying something. Because I get a bargain, I get real happy about it. So I went into one of my favorite thrift stores, and there was a package. A bunch of charts were in this Ziploc, and they were marked $4. And I went up to the register. She said, "Oh, these are 50% off today." And I was like, "Oh, so I got all these charts I'm going to show you for $2." I had no idea what was in there. It was kind of sealed up, and I didn't want to pull it all out because the one in the front is one I saw, and I was like, I'd pay $4 for that chart. And it was this one from Heart and Hand, these little Christmas ornaments, because I am making Christmas ornaments for coworkers this year. I wanted to do that last year. I stitched a bunch of them, but didn't get any further than that. So that will come in real handy. And there was a bunch of other charts in there too. I'm going to show all these were in the same thing for $2. Rosewood Manor. Now this is kind of, I call this like a Norwegian kind of style. I don't know. It's just called White Christmas. I don't know what you would call it, but it's got kind of, I don't know. Let's see if the chart opens like real big. Have y'all had one of those before? It's cardstock. Well, it doesn't call it anything else, but to me it's kind of what I think of, like a winter sweater or something. I don't know. Then I don't know who these are by. Abby Middleton. These next few charts, they have the chart on one piece of cardstock and an actual photograph on the front, and they're all, I would make them into ornaments. They're little sayings, little Christmas sayings. One says, "Listen with your heart to hear the angel's song." It says, angels don't worry about you. They believe in you. And every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings, but it doesn't say that part. This one says, well, here I can read on the back while you're looking at the front. "Shoot for the moon, even if you miss. You'll land in the stars, and the stars all twinkle. Not many shine. All stars twinkle, not many shine." This one I really like. And it says, "Joy to the world, may peace and love abound." And I would maybe just have joy to the world. And it's kind of hard to see. It's a shiny photo, so I can't really do much about that. I would probably just do joy to the world and then the sheet music, or the bars, or whatever you call that. The next one is a fall one. It says, "Plant kindness, harvest blessings. We gather together for love and Thanksgiving." Those are kind of cute. I think these are real cute. Sampler ornaments, Quaker motifs, a token of love. And this one says, "Merry Millennium." So I guess we know when that came out. And then there was an issue of Sampler and Antique Needlework Quarterly. All for $2. I made out on that one. All right. And I ordered some things from Keepsakes. When I went to StitchCon, I saw a chart there, and I thought it was really cute. Something just drew me to it. And they had a sign saying it wasn't in stock. I was at weekend B. Maybe so many people bought it weekend A. Maybe they just didn't get a lot. I don't know. But it's called Witches Make Stitches by Pedal Pusher. And I just thought it was so cute. When I first saw it, I love stone houses and I love stone fireplaces. I first saw it, I was like, oh, what is that? And I just was immediately drawn to the sample that was stitched. Then I realized it was a witch sitting there. I saw the witch last. I saw the fireplace and everything else first. So I thought that was really cute for Halloween. It's kind of different Halloween. And then, y'all know I got that CD that has all the what's that magazine called I just showed you? Sampler and Antique Needlework Quarterly. Has all the issues on it. And there were a couple of charts there. And one of them had, it was like a blue band sampler. Oh, in my Twitch. It was a blue band sampler. And it was just really pretty. It had a peacock on the top and then different bands. I've never done the band sampler, but I loved it that it was in blue. Probably another color, I wouldn't have been attracted to it like I was. But I needed to get some floss for it, and they're silks. And I got these two, and they are, hard to see, Midnight Cobalt and Summer Tan. There's a third color that didn't come in yet. They're still waiting on it at Keepsakes. They called me when the chart came in, which was weeks and weeks ago. And I said, you know, because they're like, we have it. It's okay to send it. Okay, charge your card and send it. And I said, well, actually, I'd like to have some silks. And I don't have a place around here to buy the silks. I'd have to get them online, but I might as well just order them from you. So they're like, great. So I told them what I needed, and they said, they called me back, and they checked and didn't have it in stock, so we can order it for you. Well, 2 of them came in. The others did not, but they called me again. They're so nice to do all that, to ask if I wanted to go ahead and send what they had or wait for the others. I said, just go ahead and send what they had. You know, I was trying to save on shipping because I wasn't planning on stitching that right away, so it wasn't a big deal. But I told them to go ahead and send it. So I'm still waiting for some more floss to come in from them, but they were really nice to deal with. So my friend, who is the antique dealer, and I got those samplers from, was going to have a barn sale at her house. And I'm telling you, her barn sales are awesome. First of all, she knows how to stage things, so it looks great. So she's pulling all this stuff out of her barn sale, out of boxes, and she stages them just like you want them, you know. It's like going into an antique mall where they really, you know, some booths just have the stuff thrown in there, and some have it arranged like you're like, oh, that would look great in my house, just like that. And her stuff is like, I want it in my house just like that. So she was planning a sale, and she kept putting some little teaser pictures on Facebook. So I was looking forward to it. Well, then the hurricane was coming our way. I forget the name of the hurricane now. Start with an I. I can't remember. But so she canceled her sale. She said, you know, we're going to be rained out. And we were expecting, you know, like a washout that weekend. It rained a little bit Friday night, and the storm took a turn or whatever. We didn't get hardly anything here. So she could have had it, but it was canceled. But in one of the teaser pictures, she posted something that was cross-stitch, and I messaged her, said, hey, Jan, how much is that? And so she was very, very kind, very, very kind, and said, for you, it's nothing. I didn't even think about it being cross-stitch because I know you like those things. And it was this Victorian bookmark. Honor thy father and thy mother. I mean, how sweet is that for her to just give that to me? Super sweet. I love it. It's on perforated paper. It's very old. You can tell by just looking at the coloring, and they weren't worried about carrying on some of those. But it's kind of dirtier on the edges. I'm sure it stayed in this good shape because it was in a book somewhere, probably in the Bible. I didn't ask her where she got it. I should have. We did a porch pickup, so I didn't get a chance to talk to her when I picked it up. And um, anyway, so that was another piece of haul. That was just such a kind gift. Last weekend, not last weekend, the weekend before, 15th and 16th of October, I think I'm saying that right. Anyway, Saturday and Sunday. My L&S, which is about an hour away, Panda's Crossing, it's a bead store and cross-stitch store. They had a retreat, and it was called All I Want for Christmas Is You, ... and cross-stitch. And I've never attended a retreat or even a stitch in there because of how far it is, and it's kind of hard to, a stitch in a lot of times is just like Friday nights. Well, to drive an hour there, to be there for a couple hours and drive an hour home, it just never seemed worth it. So I've never gone to anything there, but this one I signed up for, and I'm glad I did. They had about just shy, I think, of 40 people there, and for the price of your registration fee, it's 2 days of stitching. She provides 2 meals, one each day, and then everybody it's kind of like a cover dish. You bring some other little snacky stuff or drinks or whatever for everybody. And then she gives you 7 fully kitted projects. And obviously it was Christmas themed. All for Christmas Is You and cross stitch. So, well, I actually have some haul on top of some of the projects that we got there. So I'm going to do some haul that I got at Panda's Crossing before I get into all of that. I told you I'm a little bit disorganized, but I just want to get this done. I want to be able to put this stuff away. It's one of the reasons I really want to get this filmed. But also, I just want to get back in the saddle and get going again, This is a chart I bought a while back, and I may have shared this with you. Elizabeth Young, 1829. It's a mid-Atlantic sampler, probably from Maryland or Delaware. My paternal grandmother's maiden name was Young. There are a lot of Elizabeths in her family. All their family was in Maryland since, they went back to, well, they were in Jamestown, and then they moved over to Maryland. So, anyway, long time. I'm sure I couldn't find a relative with this name in this year. But I think my husband's grandfather would call them, you could call them shirt tail relatives or coat tail relatives, something like that. Anyway, where they're related, it's just kind of distant. So I thought, it may have been someone related to me that I haven't discovered yet. And so in my genealogy search, I haven't done a whole lot to try and find an Elizabeth Young. I'm just looking at my current tree. But anyway, I wanted to stitch this. So I had already gotten all the DMC together, and I needed some fabric. So I got this 36 count Edinburgh flax from Panda's Crossing. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know how to make that better, y'all. It's just kind of a grayish beige taupey kind of color, which is kind of what this piece is too. It has a little taupe, you see that gray tint to it. And I think it's a pretty sampler, but that with the name and the region made me want it even more. Then I got these 2 pieces of fabric. They're from the Primitive Hair. The first one is called Dark Spell, and you all have probably seen this. I need something to put behind it. It's got these like creepy looking trees. Well, I don't know if I will have a haunted house I'm going to stitch and put on it like that, or a witch, or what. But my oldest daughter loves Halloween, And I have a lot of Halloween charts to stitch for her. Most of the ones she loves, the stitching is all black. So I saw that. I was like, I know I have something I can stitch on that. So I grabbed it. Then I grabbed this other piece. It's also from the Primitive Hare. That one was a 30 count. This is also a 30 count linen. And I'll fold it in half here, but it's called Crispy October. And I just thought that was really pretty. I have a lot of things I think I could stitch on that too. It's not exactly a neutral, but it's neutral enough that, yeah, it'll work. Okay. Then this was like a leftover piece of fabric from Fox and Rabbit called Flannel Flower. Y'all may have seen that before. It's got modeling, but it's not real prominent. It's kind of tan with gray modeling. I'm sorry, y'all, that I'm really using mainly sunlight in here, and it's, I thought it would be best, but this one is a 36 count Shore Beast Tan. Well, maybe you've seen it before. It's kind of peachy tan color. Some modeling on it. I do have another thing I got from the thrift store I forgot to show you, and it's not exactly stitching, but it's kind of, it's a little quilted pillow with a paper tag on it. It's just tied and just pink on the back. This is love. That would be real cute for a Valentine display. It was 50 cents. So can't pass up a bargain like that. I should have this pulled out. This next chart, I bought the chart a while back. I can't remember where I got it. Probably 1, 2, 3 Stitch or something like that. And I've seen a couple people stitch it. Probably the most inspiring stitching, I'll say that way, is Deb Country Stitchers has done this Scenic Farm by Dimensions. And if you've never watched them, you need to watch some of the one that Deb stitches, like her little Christmas villages that she does, and this one, she, you know, enhances the trees with extra back stitching or changes colors up and things. She has such a good eye. She makes it look so good. Well, this is a full kit here, and it came with 18 count white Aida. When I was at StitchCon, I saw someone stitching it, and I said, "Oh, I have that chart. I can't wait to start it." And she said, "Did you buy a kit?" I said, "Yeah, I bought the kit." She said, "Don't use the Aida." And I wish I remembered her name, but she said, "Here, you know, I use the Aida," and then she pointed to some areas, like the bottom part of this white section. There's no stitches in some of the white, and she said, "I don't like the Aida shining through. It would look much better if you had it on even weave or linen." So I got 36 count Edinburgh linen, bright white. There's nothing really to show there. And while they were showing us one of our charts at the retreat, the lady who was working there cutting fabric, she said, "Just give me your chart." So she took this chart, she opened it, figured out what size I needed, put it all in there for me. And oh, I'll get it back in the bag another time. Okay. So all right. If you really want to see everything about this retreat I went to, watch Dottie the Stitching Scotty. She did a great job summing up the retreat and showing everything. She had a lot of good pictures. I'm going to show you all these and the things that we got, and then I'll insert some pictures at the end that shows you what the final products are going to look like. So first we got a goodie bag there at the retreat, and Donna's the owner of the retreat, of the shop, and so she put all these together, and I have most all of it here. Well, first of all, we got a 6x6 Q-snap. I don't use these very much, but if I'm doing 1/1, I do. So I will probably, and most of the time it's something small that I'm doing 1/1 on, so that'll work. She made everybody by hand herself a coaster, and tell you what, this coaster, I loved it because it curls up, it kind of cradles your drink, and of course it absorbs any condensation. But while I was stitching, because I stitch in hand, I don't really have needle minders. I might use one to hold a chart on a easel or something, but I don't travel with one of those. And I don't always use them. So I would stick my needle on the side of this. I didn't even get out my little tomato pin cushion that goes with my thread bed. I just used that and stuck my needle right in there. We got one of these stash-in stores, a mini stash-in store. And here it is, along with our stork scissors. We got a pair of stork scissors too. That glare is terrible. I don't know how to get rid of it. Well, let's just get up close. Sorry. Then we got a little container that said on here, all I want for Christmas is you and cross stitch, and the Panda's Crossing name on there. Open it up, and it has a little thing to put your beads in if you're doing beading. All our little giveaways we're going to use in our projects, and I'll show you that. There's some needles. We got some needles. We got a needle minder. Keep in mind it was Christmas theme. And a snowman scissor fob. So what you could do, you could put your, I mean, those things you might not want to keep in there. I am for now. But you could have your beads in there, and then the ones you're working with, you put in this with a little squishy thing in there so they don't roll around when you're trying to bead with your needle. Okay. I think, oh wait, we got an Ort container. And really, if I ever go to one of her retreats again, I took like a lot of those things that we just got there, but I took, and I didn't need to. She gave them all to you, so I won't take as much next time. I took one chart with me. Okay, these are not going to be in order. Oh, here it is. Okay. I had this one actually in my bag that I take to work because I thought I was going to have to cover the front desk today in the afternoon. I thought I might be bored. I was going to take some cross stitch with me. This first project, this is actually not in the order she gave them to us, but it's the order I'm going to show them. It's on this pretty blue fabric with this DMC variegated floss number 4022 is what we used on that. And this is going to be, we don't have a picture. The pictures I insert at the end will show it, but this, I just have a chart to show you, so I can't show you that. But it's different snowflakes all over it. And then they fit in this wooden box that has a snowflake on the end. My oldest daughter has already claimed that because those are her colors for Christmas. She does kind of a 50s vintage style Christmas. Then There was a chart that is called Mary Berry, and it's a collaboration with Hands On Design and Just Another Button Company. And this is it. We got now you could either choose for this retreat if you wanted 14 count Aida in the colors, all the same colors, or you wanted 28 count linen or even weave, so that everything would kit up the same size no matter which fabric you used. So I got the linen or even weave, and so for this one it was this gray color, and I don't know the name of the color, but I started stitching, y'all. You see how much I got done? Not much, because I couldn't see this. I couldn't see it very well, and I was struggling with it, and I thought the other I'm just whipping along, I'm not going to worry about it. We got everything to finish it. You get the threads, she gave you the buttons, the hoop, and the wool felt to go on the back. The chart, this chart card, actually only gives you 1/4, like a piece of pie, 1/4 of the pattern, because you repeat it 4 times. Well, she took the time to copy it for us 4 times and put it in the circle. So it's easy to line up and figure it out. And then you got everything there to finish it. Now Dottie, she was sitting beside me, and she was stitching. She stitched a lot on this one. I mean, not like she got it done because we were, visiting and shopping and such. Drop those buttons. But she could see it a lot better than me. I could not see that stuff. Okay, then we got, this is probably my favorite, from Sue Hillis Designs, Christmas in Red. This chart has all these little patterns in it for these stocking ornaments. We got our piece of cloth, and I stitched one and a partial while I was there. Then we got the sled. She spray painted the sleds for us, and everything we need to finish it. They're going to have in November a finishing class, so if you want to come, I think it's a Saturday afternoon, with all of your projects, you can put them together and she'll help you finish them, just the way she showed you. Well, I love these so much. I bought I don't know, maybe 6 sleds. They're all brown. Like the seats are wooden and then the rest is metal, but it's all brown. I'm just going to spray them white and do them just like these gifts this Christmas. Oh, things are falling. Then we got this book, 101 Christmas Minis by Leisure Arts. And that, you may look at those and think they're kind of old-fashioned in those gold things. Like those gold things wouldn't go on my tree. My tree is too rustic. But I mean, it's 101 patterns in here. The one that was kitted up for us is a cardinal. Here's the floss for the cardinal. It'll be in the pictures. I'll show you. And then we got the fabric for it. And it is going to be finished on this, which we also got in our kit. It's a wooden ornament. On the back it has 2 sides, so you can, if you want to layer, you can. But your stitching will wrap around here perfectly, and then you glue it on here. We got some ribbon that will weave through the holes in this. It is super cute. Super, super cute. Look at the pictures at the end. Look at the pictures at the end. Then we got from Calico Confectionery, Ebenezer. I love this one. I love A Christmas Carol movie. I mean, you have to watch that every Christmas, don't you? So we got this piece of, I think it's vintage country mocha is what I think it is. And then we got our floss and our hoop to finish it. This is, I think, seam binding that you wrap around the hoop. If you see the outer hoop, instead of showing wood, it's black. And then the greenery to put on it just like this. And the black felt for the back. I'm working hard on that Christmas stocking for my granddaughter, and then I'm going to get to these. But most of these I'm going to keep, except for the sleds. So they'll go behind the order as far as Christmas stockings go. Then we got a chart for a Biscornu. I've never done one. I think they're beautiful. They look complicated to assemble, but I know they're not. It's 2 squares and you just kind of offset them a little bit. This is from Kitty Me Designs, a Christmas Biscornu. Gotta cover up the chart there with the fabric, but that's the chart. And here are the flosses. And there is great picture of that. And I'm going to show you all. I took all sides so I would know how to put it together if I couldn't make it to the finishing class. And it really, she set it up so that you could do most of this by hand. You know, you don't need a machine to do these. Then we also got these bell pull hardware pack. And you can cut these to size, which you will need for this next project. It's kind of hard to see. It's Mill Hill Santa's Holiday Book. So there are a lot of projects in the book. All those, plus all these. What we got is this one right here. So you just need like that dowel on the top, which you'll have to cut it down. That is almost all beads. This is actually done on banding, but you couldn't get the banding anymore. So she charted like almost like a checkerboard pattern for you to stitch, and then shows you how to fold it over. And I took pictures of front and back and all of the whole thing, so I could, like I said, I could finish it if I needed to. And I don't know where my fabric is for that, but I think I must have dropped it. Anyway, we got our, oh, I didn't drop it. It's inside the book. So you have plenty there. She zigzagged or serged the edges of all of them. Then you also got your floss and beads, which she labeled and everything for you. And that's why this little container for the beads will come in handy when you're working on this. It's really beautiful. I've done some Mill Hill ornaments, Halloween ornaments, but I've never done something with this much beading. So I'm looking forward to doing something new. I think that is everything from the retreat. I sat with Dottie, Stitching Scotty. We met at, I'd followed her, subscribed to her channel for a while, but we got to meet each other at StitchCon, mainly at late night stitching. And she lives about an hour from the LNS, but I think in the other direction. So I'm not exactly sure how far apart we are. But, and her friend Dolores, who's been in some of her videos, was there. And Susie was also at our table, and Mary Margaret and Deborah. That was our table. And we had the best time. It was a lot of fun. It was good to get out, and they were really, they were just a fun group to be around. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing another retreat with them. was hoping to sign up for the Barefoot Needle Arts retreat that's in February. I put an alarm on my phone and everything. My alarm went off. I turned it off. I saw it. I turned it off. I got busy doing something else and let hours go by before I got back to it. I'm just forgetting things. I was a little bit forgetful before, and somebody told me, I've been through this, you have what they call widow brain, where you just forget stuff and you just can't concentrate like you used to. I'm starting to believe what they said, because I've done some things that are like, no better than that. I'm kicking myself. So I didn't get an invoice for that retreat. I hope it's like StitchCon and I get called. That's all I can hope for in February, because I think that would be a good one. A lot of people I know are going to go to that. Well, I have just one last thing here to show you, and I think the project bag's empty. Okay, and it's some things that one of my daughters got for me for my birthday. My birthday was last week, and we went out to eat, and I got some gift cards, and she got me I got a new welcome mat, a new pretty fall pillow to put in my living room, and some cross stitch stuff. And it's things I haven't used before. One is this pack of Floss. I've never used this brand before, but the colors are really pretty. And then this bag, I don't know what you call this thing. It opens, has zipper pockets, and they're deep pockets. And then on the inside, you have a place for your scissors, your needles, and your floss. If you bobbinate, I think that's why I think it's a side for. I don't bobbinate, but my daughter was like, "Well, will that work for you, or do you want to take it back and get something else?" I said, "You know what? Projects have a lot of colors. Actually, like the one I'm doing now with that stocking, I have so many color changes in that thing. It's crazy. It takes a long time when you change colors that often. But I said I could just have a threaded loaded needle with different colors in these, kind of waiting for my color change. It would speed up my stitching a little bit. So I'm going to try it with that. And that would be good to take to go, or even just use in my chair, because especially with these kittens now, I gotta have everything put up when I leave the area, because they will definitely get into that floss. I don't have any plans to share with you all. I'm just gonna stitch on that stocking and try and get it done, and then move on to some other things. Every time I try and make plans, the plans fall through. So I hate to say it, but I have been kitting up some samplers. And I'm thinking maybe 2023 will be the sampler year. But I don't know, I have a lot of things I've kitted up. I have a lot of charts. When I went to this retreat, I was good. I didn't buy any charts. I bought fabric. Did I buy any floss? I just bought fabric. And that was my goal. Not just to buy some fabric if I needed it, or if I saw some floss or some kind of finishing something that I really liked. But I was pretty good, because I don't need any more charts right now. Anyway, that's about it for me, and we are just a little bit over an hour. I want to thank you all again for supporting my channel and tuning in here, and I'll hope to have some more to show you in a couple of weeks. Until then, enjoy your stitching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Bye.